Gold Cup here at Tri-Cities, Washington. Your rundown for Heat 1B. The Squire Shop, top qualifier. The Tosti Asti with Steve Reynolds. The Renault, Executone, Joe Ritchie, and Oboy Oberto. Let's meet the drivers now. Scott Pierce out of Seattle, Washington, driving the U40. Todd Yarling out of Madison, Indiana, driving the Joe Ritchie Spirit of Detroit. George Johnson out of Seattle. George Johnson, driver of the Miss Executone Telephones. Milner Irvin out of Coral Gables, Florida, near Miami, driving the Miss Renault, the U3. Also, Steve Reynolds now driving the #1 boat, the Miss Tosti Asti. No more backup boat here. And the top qualifier, Mickey Riemann and the Union Bay Squire Shop. All 6 boats are now running for Heat 1B. On the inside is the Miss Renault. In about lane 3, it appears the Squire Shop with Mickey Riemann. It looks like Irvin and Riemann right there. Good starts for both boats. Here we go, Heat 1B. The Tosti Asti on the outside of the Squire Shop as they rumble into the bridge turn here, the east turn in Pasco. Slowing down already is the Oboy Oberto with Scotty Pierce aboard. Coming out of that turn now on the inside, Milner Irvin out of Miami, Florida in the Miss Renault. On the left side of your screen, the leader, Mickey Riemann and the Union Bay Squire Shop. The Merlin engines shoving it down the backstretch. There you see, second place now belongs to Tosti Asti and Steve Reynolds back driving his #1 boat instead of the backup boat. You might recall, the Tosti was, of course, damaged in Evansville, Indiana. We'll talk about it more in a moment. In the meantime, the Squire Shop moving along the west turn and about to complete lap #1. Good battle for second and third place, though, between Reynolds and Milner Irvin. There's Irvin in the Miss Renault, the John Staudiker design and built boat out of Detroit. And in fourth place is the Executone Telephones. Back to Mickey Riemann in the Squire Shop going into the bridge turn. Bob Stile, and on the right, Jim Harvey, of course, of the Squire Shop, owner and crew chief respectively. They're in first place. There's the battle for second and third. Steve Reynolds in lane #2. A rooster tail lead over the Renault and Milner Irvin. And the leader, Mickey Riemann, back after a 6.5-year layoff. Back in what he considers a very exciting ride in a camp that is full of spirit. These people have fought all night. Last night, trying to get this boat ready to race. They had to replace, of course, the skin on part of the deck, the left rear quarter panel, and they're back here running very well, right around 129 miles per hour. Steve Reynolds settling in at second place. Third place, Milner Irvin and the Miss Renault. The Oboy Oberto is conked out. Scott Pierce on the infield here in Pasco in the Tri-Cities area on the Columbia River. Mickey Riemann, second in national points this year. As you see, Tosti Asti lapping Joe Ritchie, Spirit of Detroit, and Todd Yarling. Back to the Squire Shop and Mickey Riemann, who is averaging right around 128 miles per hour. And remember, of course, they run 6 laps in the Gold Cup, 3 different heats. It's a long day before they get out the trophy. Second place goes, of course, to Steve Reynolds right now. Second place for the #1 boat. Third place to the Renault and Milner Irvin. Fourth place back to Executone Telephones. George Johnson, one of 3 owners for this boat, and is running very, very well. Steady improvement by that boat throughout 1984. Mickey Riemann going down the back chute in front of better than 100,000 people here in the Tri-Cities area. On the outside, again, is the Joe Ritchie Spirit of Detroit. On the inside, the Executone Telephones, George Johnson, and the Squire Shop here. Of course, when it used to be the Atlas Van Lines was the blue blaster, the blue and white colors. Now it's got the red, white, and brown of the Union Bay Squire Shop. Beautiful boat. A little choppy now out there on the west turn as you see the Tosti Asti coming down the main chute, and Steve Reynolds out of Seattle, Washington. The Miss Renault, again, lost its wing racing in Detroit, but it's fine now. From the helicopter, you see the Executone coming down the main chute, past the start-finish line. Beautiful shot as you ride at better than 150 miles per hour, along with George Johnson. Into the east turn, back to the Joe Ritchie Spirit of Detroit, and Todd Yarling out of Madison, Indiana. Mickey Riemann, though, in full control here on the final lap in Heat 1B. Mickey Riemann, second in national points in this boat, is about to pick up another 400 points here in 1B as the winner. The Squire Shop, the Union Bay Squire Shop, rocking and rolling along. Mickey Riemann, winner of Heat 1B, 400 points. And, of course, there's Bob Stile, the owner of the Squire Shop. He knows what's just happened. Second place to Steve Reynolds and the Tosti Asti. Third to the Miss Renault. So with an average speed of better than 126 miles per hour, the Squire Shop with 400 points. Then comes the Tosti Asti, the Renault, Executone Telephones, Joe Ritchie, Spirit of Detroit, and the Oboy Oberto failed to finish. Let's go down to the winner with Jim Hendrick.
Well, the story unfolds as this man gets into a boat that had to be repaired all night long, and he wins his first heat out. Nice going, Mickey, but you were that start pretty close at the beginning there.
Yeah, I sure did, Jim. And actually, I hadn't even taken an acceleration run on the course here. That's what we were going to do yesterday. When we went out, we had the propeller problems, so we didn't get back in the water. So I went out there without any times at all. And when I got to the line, I was holding my breath because I knew I'd cut a close.
Pretty good for a boat that was in repair all night.
It sure was, and they were still working on it when it was hanging over the water, so we're very pleased.
Costi was second, and Don Poyer's down there now with the driver of that boat.
Steve Reynolds of the Tosti Asti. Who you got here?
Well, this is my little one. This is Krista, and this is my bigger one. This is Michael.
Hi, guys. Gee whiz. Hey, now look, second place now. You went out and just got the points and finished.
Yeah, we did. You know, we tried a prop that we'd never run before, and so we wanted to see what it would do, and now we found out we're going to make a few adjustments to the aerodynamic surfaces, and we should run a little better next time.
Any problem with the wind, water out there?
No, I just gets a little lumpy back there, you know, by about the 4th or 5th lap. It's getting a little rough, but no, I think the water's real good. It'll be a fast race today.
And here in the arid climate of southeastern Washington, a crowd of better than 100,000 watching, and Heat 2A coming up.